Okay, so first I'd like to demonstrate registered user logging into the front end and some of the things that you can do with it. And then after that, I'll show you how I did it. Okay, so down at the bottom here, we have a module, the login module. Okay, and once you create a login module, and really it's as easy as going to your modules, creating a new module, and when you choose the type, choose the login module. Okay, it'll be right there. And then you can choose the position. I chose bottom A, I believe this module position was called. After you've done that, you need to go into another area of Joomla and turn on the function for enabling registered users. Okay, and if you enable front-end registration, this other link will pop up right here for creating an account. And that'll allow you to create an account. And we'll demo all that as well. But first I'd like to show you something here. So here's my menu items up here. You can't see it right now because I am not logged in. See how it says log in still? Okay, I'm not logged in. So this is what's called public view. Okay. Now for public view, everything that you see right here is what the public has permission to see. However, right here there's actually another menu item that I have hidden, and it's hidden unless you're a registered user. And what that is a blog, and it should say blog right here. And really, when you visit this website, you'll be able to see that it says blog right here because I will shut off the restriction. That way you can go in, we don't have to actually register to my tree website to view the blog and see how the commenting works, okay? But for now, I have restricted it so that I can demonstrate to you that you can hide content and open it up for registered users, okay? You'll see that a lot on forums where permissions are restricted. You know, you try and comment on something and it says you need to register first, or, you know, you can't view the comments or the answers to something until you register. This is how they do that. Okay, so I'm going to come down here and I'm going to register, okay? Or sorry, I'm going to log in, okay? And I still have my tree admin. I'm actually super user. So I'm going to type in my password. Okay, there we go. Now, there's been two important changes to this website, okay? The first one is up here on the menu items. Now it says blog, okay? And that wasn't there before. I logged in as a registered user, and now I have access to that. Okay, let's scroll down here. See how it says log out now, and my login module is now missing? Yep, that means that I'm logged in as a registered user, okay? Or in my case, I'm the original user because I'm have super user access. Okay. So now I'm going to click on blog here and show you a K2 blog. K2 is a really great, powerful set of extensions for, well, a whole bunch of different features actually that we'll go over here in a minute. But one of the things that it handles really well is registered user comments. Okay. Now, here we go. We just have a regular blog. You've probably seen a lot. You know, really familiar with this particular layout right here. It's kind of that traditional blog layout where we got our avatar profiles and we can make comments, okay? And then the comments here are set up with, you know, reCAPTCHA here, which I turned this on. You can choose not to have this, and honestly, you can actually choose to have non-registered public users post whatever they want on your site, but you'll be hit with a lot of spam really fast if you do that. So making sure that only registered users can comment, and then making sure that they have to go through a CAPTCHA, okay, to comment is a really good idea. Okay, and the same thing with registered users, which I'll show you that in a minute. When you create an account, you want someone to pass through something like this, and there's a lot of different versions of that out there. You can go ahead and do a extension search in the Joomla extension directory for CAPTCHAs, and I mean there's even mazes that you can make people solve on and answer, you know, test questions and all kinds of things like that. Okay. So anyway, and then if I were to make another comment on here, and you know, this is my profile here, every time I make a comment on here, I have to go through this CAPTCHA and submit the comment, and it'll keep showing up here. Now, you can see by the date times here that the most recent one shows up on top. Okay, now that's just called weighting it, and you can weight the comments so the oldest post shows up on top. The one that's been voted with the most stars shows on top. There's lots of different options when you get in and actually configure how you want your blog layout to be. So, but anyway, that's just an example of a setup I have now, and other users could actually register with this website right now, and you can decide whether or not the user has to verify their email and then they're automatically registered, or if you are approving them as a user and then they have rights as a registered user, and then that's your choice. Kind of depends. If you have a really small community that you're planning on working with online, you can actually just do manual registration like that, and then you don't have to worry about anyone joining the site that you don't want to, or what have you. Or you can actually open it up for self verification, where they register, they get an email, and in that email they just click that they verify that's their email, and then they're registered. And you can have as many registered users as you want to. I was just looking at somebody else's Joomla site a while ago that had 2,000 registered users on the site as just part of their community. So I mean, these can get pretty big. Okay, so anyway, let's look at how I did all of this. Okay, I'm in the familiar Joomla administration backend right now, and what I want to show you is I can actually close these quick icons and then open up the K2 icon set. Okay, and this gives you a glimpse at actually how powerful K2 is as an extension. Okay, now in K2 you don't create articles, you create items. Okay, but it functions the same exact way, and you not only have this area here, but if you go up to components, there's your items, categories, comments, users. I mean, really, this right here is just as robust as this set of links right here. You're basically able to completely expand Joomla and create entire content management within the K2 platform within Joomla, instead of creating Joomla articles. Okay, and actually K2 comes with a lot more features, and it's huge. There's actually a really good chance that your particular template that you've installed already has K2. So go ahead and just look over here and see if there's another tab over here to turn on for K2, because it's really common for various templates to actually have K2 already installed. And it's actually really common to set up a template and there are no articles in that template at all. Okay, in any of the demo layout when you're looking at that template online, everything's actually made in K2 items instead. Okay, and there's a whole lot of options for K2 items that are not offered in Joomla articles right out of the box. So K2 is a really great extension to get. Okay, and where do you go to get that? Right here. Getk2.org. Okay, and it's just a free set of it's a free. Well, you'll get a zip file, and within that will be an entire set of plugins, components, and modules, and that entire back-end administration panel. Okay, everything all comes in one zip file, and all you do is download it and then go to your extension manager and install it exactly as you would a template or exactly as you would a third-party module. Okay, and once you've done that, you have all these features that come with K2, and some of those features are the ability to create really nice blogs with commenting features that registered users are able to actually leave content on your site. Okay, it's pretty powerful and a really nice way to just completely boost Joomla. Okay, now let's go ahead and look at creating some users for logging into the site from the front end, and also we'll look at how to restrict various areas of the website for registered users only. Okay, so here I am in the user manager. Okay, now please note also, if you are going to use K2, you have another user manager right there. Okay, but any users that you create here will also show up in here, and you can actually customize them further within K2. Okay, so some of you have already done this because you've created a separate user for me. Some of you just gave me your username and password to access your site, and some of you actually created another user and then gave me super user rights. Okay, now let's see here. So here's my name, obviously. Here's the username I log in with. Okay, what group am I? I'm in the super users group. Okay, let's go ahead and look at user groups here. So these are the different default groups, okay? And each one of these groups has a specific set of permissions with them. Now, everything is customizable. But for now, I wouldn't actually change any of the permissions because they're set up this way for a reason, okay? Public, that's a user that can go, a user is somebody that on the front end of the website is just visiting the site as a viewer. Okay, so whenever you go to a website and you're not logged in, you are part of the public audience viewing that site. Okay, now you'll notice when you create articles or if you create K2 items or category blogs or anything like that in or menu items in Joomla, there is an access level, and by default they've always said public. You can change that to be something else, but by default it's always public, meaning that the public may view it. Okay, and then each one of these have different sets of permissions that go with them. Managers can go in and do they can publish and create content, but they really don't have access to the templates, the CSS code. They don't have access to user groups, okay? Administrators do. Administrators have almost super user access, but administrators don't have access to a lot of the options that you'll see right up here, and a lot of these will just be missing, okay? Registered users, that's what we're concerned with right now. Registered users are people who log into the front end of the site and then they can do basic things through the front end of the site. A really common one is commenting. Okay, you need to have a registered user so they can comment on your website. Authors can, create content for the site, and editors can actually edit and delete that content. Okay, so it's a way to restrict different people. And then these two can actually publish articles. Publishers can do all of that and actually publish articles on the site. Okay, so anyway, it looks like we have some example here with example permissions for e-commerce. Okay, and then of course you're always the super user when you are the main administrator for the site. Now that's why they differentiate here between this administrator and the super user, is that the super user here has absolute rights to everything. Administrator is just a little bit limited. Okay, so if it's your website and you're managing all the users, you're going to be a super user, and you can decide if you want anybody else to go into your site and create content on certain levels. And that's really nice if you want somebody to write articles for you, but you don't want them to get in there and delete anything or make some major mistakes or something like that. Okay, but the one I'm concerned about right now is the registered user. Okay, and anyway, the registered user is, if you remember on the front of the site here, down here at the bottom, what this actually said before was, log in, username and password, and create an account. When you create an account, then you have become a registered user, okay? And then, of course, that gave me the access rights to view the K2 blog that I've set up, okay? So anyway, let's go ahead and look at how you set up the login module and how you enable user registration. Okay, so I jumped back into my user manager, and if you remember, I was saying that super users have access to a lot of the options that are up here, and even a manager or an administrator would not have access to many of these options up here. One particular option is the allow user registration, okay, and I just set that to yes, okay, and the new user registration group by default is set to registered. You can set them to whatever you want. Do not set it to super users though. At least I really recommend not doing that. Anyway, you can actually manually make someone a super user. It's a good idea to only have one, and if you have, if it's a group effort with somebody else or something, then maybe you could have a couple super users, and that's fine. But you want to be really restrictive on giving out super user and administrator rights. Okay, so anyway, so allow user registration. All that does is that turns on that little create an account link in the login module. Okay, and I've already done this, so I can just close that. So let's go ahead and look at the login module now. Okay, and as you can see, I have a lot of K2 stuff in here. Now that was just part of installing that K2 extension. Okay, be aware that there's a lot that comes with K2. It's it's not like learning Joomla all over again because it functions within Joomla under the same exact concept. One of the big differences is you create items instead of articles. Okay, now but I really encourage, actually downloading it. And of course, this isn't an assignment. I'm just showing you an awesome way to expand Joomla for those of you that are planning on turning your site into a community blog where you have registered users that, are a part of the content contribution to your website. Okay, so anyway, I actually have my login module right here, and that's in bottom A. Okay, and of course I have it published. If let's pretend for a minute that I did not do this already. So how I did it was I just clicked on New, and then all you do is navigate to the login area right here. Okay, and create another login module. And of course, it's business as usual over here. You go ahead and title it, select the position, select that it's published, select what pages you want it to show up on, and there you go. Okay, so I've got my login and it's positioned where I want it to be positioned, and then I've also added the option of creating an account. Okay, but of course I'm logged in right now. And yes, this blog here. Why is this blog restricted? How did I do that? Let's go ahead and look at that next. What we need to do is we need to go to our menu items. Okay, menu manager. Okay, main menu. Here's that blog. Okay, now see this where it says access? Instead of public, I just set that to registered users. Now only registered users can view this. Okay, that's all that was. And so when you're not registered, this is not here. When you're registered, this is here. So if I were to log out right now, you can see that it's gone. Okay, and so this is the public view of this site. And here's my area to log in. Here's my create an account, and this showed up because I enabled user registration. So let's go ahead and look at the create an account. Okay, so there we go, and this is, the create an account area. See, I have a Captcha right here. Okay, now let's look at that. How did I turn this Captcha on? Okay, there's a few different areas where you turn on Captchas. Okay, the first one here that you're going to notice is I'm going to global configuration, and I've turned on a Captcha here. Okay, now I've installed another Captcha here, this Ju reCaptcha. Now you can go ahead and there's going to be a default Captcha that comes with Joomla, or you can do a search and download all different kinds of Captchas, okay, and they'll show up in here, and then you can choose them. So that's the first step right there, is enable that Captcha, okay, and that will be for the registration. Now there's other Captchas that I personally set up to make sure that nobody can even blog without going through another Captcha. Okay, it's not a bad idea to just continually put out blocks to make sure that people are human that are messing around with your site, and not a spam bot just looking to completely flood your site with advertising or what have you. Okay, so you fill out these details right here, and let's see, I'm going to go ahead and fill out another user here. I'll call myself Tree Fan, I guess, because I'm somebody that wants to join a tree website. Okay, well, actually, we'll give them the name, Joe, I guess, and then go ahead and put in a Tree Fan for the name of the user that's going to join this site, because they want to join and they want to post in the blog, I guess. Now I need to fill out a email and password here, and let's see what else. By the way, this is also a customizable form here, and there's a ton of extensions. So if you don't like any of the questions that they're asking here, you can go ahead and change this to be completely customized, however you want to. This is just the quick default one here that came with it. Okay, now you can choose an image right here for an avatar. Okay, so you just want a small image that you use, and what'll happen is that'll show up next to your post just as your profile picture. Okay, and then go ahead and fill out the Captcha here and hit register. Now I'm going to actually stop the video so I don't put in any more of my emails and passwords than I already have in these videos. But what I'm going to do is just fill all of this out, pass the CAPTCHA here, and then click register. Okay, and then I'll turn the video back on. Okay, so after filling out all of my information and going through the CAPTCHA, I clicked register, and then I got this message here which says my account has been created and then an activation link has been sent to my email address. So now all I need to do is check my email, and from there I'll get a link, and I need to just follow that link, and that will activate my account. And then after that I can start using the login module on the front end and logging in now as this new registered user. Okay, jumping back into my All About Trees site, you'll notice I'm not logged in right now, and my blog that is restricted to registered users is not visible up here. Okay, so let's go ahead and log in. Now I made the name Tree Fan. I don't know, I guess it's a tree website, whatever. Okay, my password, and click login. Okay, now I am now logged into the site as a registered user. Okay, and again, you can see my K2 blog right here, and I'll go ahead and load that in another tab. Now, let's see. Right off the bat, okay, so hi Joe, and the log out here, the log in module has changed to the log out. That's another indicator that we are logged in. But check this out. If I go to the administrator panel here, and I try to enter in the tree fan user here in the password. See that? You do not have access to the administrator section of this site. So this is a user. Now, okay, so here I am again, logged into the blog section, or accessing the blog section here. And these are the my Justin user here, right, where I made these comments. But now I can actually comment, and again, remember, I'm registered as a different user now, but I have permission to comment on this site now. So I've registered, and so people can, of course, you can really start a whole community of people here and have them, actually have the entire blog hidden from the public if you want to. But anyway, hello, I am new here and I like trees. Okay, and yeah, I have to go ahead and pass this CAPTCHA now. Sometimes I cannot get these and they drive me crazy. Looks like answer. These are really, really important to have on here though. You'll end up with a lot of spam advertising. Okay, the words I typed did not match. Try again. Okay, good. I was worried there for a second. Sometimes those CAPTCHAs are difficult. And if they really annoy you, what you can do is go to the extension directory and find something else. I mean, there's even like mazes and calculators and simple, questions or math problems, all different kinds of things that you can do. It's just important to have some kind of a block there from. And let's see here. And you can see that here's the other user, Joe. And he has a different avatar or profile picture than I do here. Of course, they're both just me, but I've logged in as two different users now. One is the administrator here, or the super user, and then we have this registered user right here. And countless registered users can actually join your site.